cold embrace that froze my very bone. The morning sun now burns like fire on my skin, and nothing tastes the same as before. Something crawls beneath my veins tonight, hunger waking from its endless sleep. Blood moon rising over who I used to be. I'm losing pieces of my soul to darkness. Blood moon rising and I cannot flee. The creature in the mirror stares back at me. Catch my reflection and I don't know her face. The eyes are mine but hollow, filled with night. The food turns to ash upon my trembling tongue. Only one desire burns so bright. Something crawls beneath my veins tonight. They owe me dying with each passing day. I remember warmth, I remember being human, being whole. Now I'm a ghost that walks among the living, trading my heartbeat for an endless night. I'm becoming, the night is home now. Blood moon rising. klutz, want some more. My boss is calling, got a deadline due. This coffee habit, yeah, it sees me through. Some folks like tea, some folks like juice. Me, I need that buzz. was torn. I used to be static, I used to be still, like a shipwreck sitting on a desert hill. But the sizzling heat of the engine is pure. I don't wanna be a shadow anymore. Tomorrow is clear, tomorrow is grand. I'll leave the coarse metal for the shift in the sand. The booming engine doesn't sound like a cage. I'm tearing the page and I'm turning the stage. had stayed too late.
Of dust on the mantelpiece and a coffee cup stain with the faded leaves. The air is a blanket, heavy and gray. I'm a ghost in a hallway, drifting away. My voice is a whisper, husky and thin, watching the tide where the winter begins. The window is stuck, the hinges are tight. I'm holding my breath in the middle of the night, but the glass starts to shiver, the light starts to bite, and I'm tired of the dark, I'm tired of the fight. Oh, I'm feeling the sting of the salt in the rust, turning the iron and ash into dust. I'm opening windows, I'm catching the sun. The slow burn of healing has finally begun. Yeah, I'm trading the anchor for the open sea. There's a shimmering world waiting for me. I used to be muffled, I used to be still, just a shipwreck sitting on top of the hill. But the grit on my skin feels honest and real. I'm learning the language of how to feel. No more cliches, no more perfect rhymes, just the bitter and sweet of the changing times. Oh, I'm feeling the sting of the salt in the rust, turning the iron and ash into dust. I'm opening windows, I'm catching the sun. The slow burn of
is thin and murky gray. I've lived my life in a muffled way.
A coffee cup cold on a gritty shelf. I was a stranger even to myself.
But I felt a sizzling spark in the dark,
A shimmering light leaving its mark.
the silence is piercing, the rhythm is tight. I'm leaping toward the blazing light. My pulse is accelerating, a booming sound, until the resolution is finally found. Oh, I'm feeling the resonant pulse inside, with nowhere left for my heart to hide. No more stagnation, no more hollow fear. Now that the shimmering world is clear, it's a slow burn turning into a flame. I'm finally whispering your name. I used to be muffled, I used to be still.
Just a shipwreck sitting on a lonely hill.
But the coarse wind is pure and bright. I'm a glittering streak in the blazing light. No more cliches of the things in the hole. I'm the one who's standing powerful and tall.
Tomorrow is grand, tomorrow is pure.
I don't need a script to feel secure.
The booming future is an open door. I'm not the person I was before.
Just a resonant echo in the night.
In the silvery light, the resonant pulse. The room is dark, the monitor breathes light. I trace the edges of the coming night. My fingers hover, static on my skin. Where does the real world end and code begin? Gravity loosens, the floor falls away. I'm trading the sun for a I live 1,000 lives without regret. Health bars rising with every breath. Cheating the system, cheating death. Meet me where the pixels burn bright at the respawn point in the middle of the night.
page. Watching neon bleed across the window pane. The summer rain smells like hard wires and electric pain. I've got this tape, a broken ghost of '84. Just a melody that keeps me pacing round the floor. I'm looking through a lens of gray and violet light, tracing circles in the static of the night. The hum is rising, a metallic silver sting. I'm waiting for the resolution it might bring. My life's an offbeat pulse, a rhythm out of time. Climbing up the scale, searching for a sign. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, caught in the beauty of the doubt. You're elusively dancing, a habit I can't quit. Floating through the dark until the neon's lit, dancing through the haze of my own broken joke, lost in the rhythm of synthwave smoke. Every heartbeat is a syncopated glitch, a dissonance I've learned to feel in every stitch. They say I'm elusively drifting, hard to catch, just a spark that's looking for a perfect match. I'm sculpting shadows from the echoes of the street, trying to find the home where all the verses meet. Push the sliders up, let the frequencies burn to the point of no return. Let the noise become the light, let the tension break the night. I'm breathing out, I'm breathing out, caught in the beauty of the doubt. You're elusively dancing, a habit I can't quit. Floating through the dark until the neon's lit, dancing through the haze of my own broken joke, lost in the rhythm of synthwave smoke. Slowly burning, let the world turn. The smoke is clearing now. I found my home somehow.
to end. My pulse is a squeaky and nervous beat while the gritty dust settles at my feet. The light is piercing, the sparks are bright. I'm leaping away from the murky night. The vibration is booming, the tension is high. I'm tearing a hole in the silvery sky. Oh, I'm stepping through the shimmering rift, feeling the lush and the resonant shift. No more stagnation, no more hollow gray. I'm expanding my soul in a blazing way. I'm trading the static for a pure new sea. The shimmering rift is where I'm meant to be. Glittering, the wind is sweet. A shimmering world beneath my feet. I used to be muffled, I used to be thin, but I feel the warmth of the sun on my skin. No more cliches of the burning flame. I'm finding a world without a name. Built an empire out of glass and steel, piece by piece, spinning every wheel. They all applauded my perfect design, but no one heard this tired heart of mine. 5 years locked in a cage of my own making, caught in the noise while my spirit was breaking. Been so long building what they wanted to see, I forgot what the empty space felt like to be. Tonight I turn off the lights. Tonight I stop the machine, and I stop practicing the art of undoing. Fall by fall, letting go of the ruin. It's not rage or first tight screw was the hardest to turn. The heavy steel crying started to burn. I unplugged the wires of my own anxiety, took out the gears of what they asked of me. I found that taking my whole life apart takes much more courage than making the start. Been so long building what they wanted to see, I forgot what the empty space felt like to be. Tonight I break all the rules. Tonight I take back control, and I start practicing the art of undoing, fall by fall, letting go of the ruin. It's not rage or destruction, it's how I heal, taking off the armor to remember how to feel, piece by piece, until I break through. The art of undoing, making me new.
Past is a ghost. I'm leaving the one that I needed the most. The booming truth is a majestic sound. I'm planting my feet on the grainy ground.
Walking through the hollow and dry air, the smell of chalk and old wax on the floor. My grimy hands are tracing ghosts on the desk, a muffled echo of a slamming locker door.
I was a shadow in the back of the class, watching the hours in the murky hourglass.
The bell is piercing, the hallway is thin, the squeaky floor is where the nerves begin. I'm counting exits while the static grows, waiting for the climax that nobody knows. Oh, I'm playing my part in the hallway theater, trading the static for something sweeter. The lush and resonant sound of the world outside, nowhere to linger and nowhere to hide. Yeah, the curtains are falling on the girl I used to be. The hallway theater is finally setting me free. I remember the coarse feel of the library books and the piercing weight of the judgmental looks. I was a shipwreck in a sea of blue, trying to find a script that felt honest and true. But the slow burn of time has cleared the stage.
I'm finally tearing the page.
The future's grand, the sky is pure. I don't need the script to feel secure. The booming thunder doesn't sound like fear. Everything is clear from the vantage point here.
Just a mellow light in the hall, let the shimmering world come in the pure silence of the stage. the squeaky bikes in the July sky, watching the shimmering world go by. Oh, we're kings and queens of the July cul-de-sac, with no heavy weight on our booming track. No more stagnation, just the open sea of lush and resonant memory. It's a slow burn of the years gone past in the July cul-de-sac. We're home at last. I remember the booming summer rain and the snot dribbling noses in the window pane. The coarse asphalt was a majestic shield in a sparkling world that was never revealed. But the cliches of the past are drifting away. I'm finding the brassy courage to stay. The future is grand, the sky is pure. I don't need the static to feel secure. The resonant echoes are calling my name. I'll never look at the silvery light the same.
this wood doesn't feel like a cage. I'm tearing the page and I'm turning the stage. The sizzling secrets are starting to fade in the shimmering light that I've finally made. The attic is clear, the basement is grand. I'm holding the future in my powerful hand. The resonant echoes are calling me home. I'm no longer walking this hollow house alone. Tape and gritty dust. I'm a muffled echo in a hollow trust. The hallway is murky, the shadows are long. I'm humming the ghost of a squeaky song. You left me sitting in the static of the light, waiting for a train that won't arrive tonight. The air gets thin, the silence starts to bite. I'm reaching for a ghost in the middle of the fight, but the memory is coarse, like sand in my palm, and the booming thunder breaks the muted calm. Oh, I'm standing here like the unclaimed luggage, breaking the cycle of the heavy baggage. I'm opening the door to the shimmering rain. The slow burn of healing is dulling the pain. Yeah, I'm trading the static for a resonancy. The unclaimed luggage is finally free. fast asleep. The piercing wind is biting at the glass, waiting for the booming storm to finally pass. Oh, I'm facing the unseen watchers tonight, turning the shimmering shadows into light. No more stagnation, no more muffled cries underneath the clear and the airy skies. Yeah, the slow burn of the ghost is done. I'm reclaiming the battle that I've already won. Look beneath the dust and the gritty wood, found the shipwreck of the things I understood. The squeaky hinges don't sound like a threat, they're just the silvery echoes of a long regret. No more cliches of the things in the hall. I'm the one who's standing powerful and tall. Tomorrow is expensive, tomorrow is pure. I found a resonant way to be sure. The booming voices in the closet space are just the lush reflections of my own just a sober light. Good night to the unseen watchers into the shimmering peace.
sun.
Of the wheels on the ground. Whoa. I'm standing in a room of grainy light where the shadows are long and the walls are dark. I can hear the squeaking ghost of a nursery rhyme ticking like a muffled clock through the hall of time. My knobbly knees and my grimy hands are buried in the murky floor and the shifting sands. The air is thin and the silence is piercing. I'm reaching for a memory that keeps on disappearing. The sizzling heat of the sun on the floor is pushing me closer to the open door. Shielding a sparkling world that was never revealed, but the cliches of the past are drifting away. I'm finding the brassy courage to face the day. The future is clear and the world is wide and grand. I'm stepping out